I'm going to show you how to build a team that builds your business instead of it draining the life from you and your will to live. One of our members, Ben from Twizel, he keeps half his staff for over 5 years. Runs a $10 million company because he treats his business like a sports team, not a family. A common adage we hear all the time is good people are too expensive. Well, the reality is bad people cost more in mistakes, rework, and your time and headspace fixing their problems and cock-ups. If you think it's expensive hiring a professional, wait until you hire an amateur. So the first key thing is PSR, problem, solutions, and then recommendation. So we're teaching your team to bring solutions, not just chuck hand grenades or dump problems in your lap. Welcome to the Builder's Ladder. Today we are covering episode number 3 of an 8-part series where I'm covering the biggest takeaways from my new book, The Profitable Builder's Playbook. And today, chapter 3, how to build a winning team. So the difference between a $500,000 builder and a $5 million building company owner isn't skill. It's whether they've actually built a team or built themselves a prison that they feel chained to. So one of our members, Ben from Twizel, he keeps half his staff for over 5 years. He runs a $10 million company because he treats his business like a sports team, not a family. Your team will only be as good as the systems you give them, and most building company owners give chaos. So there's a great saying, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, which is why great teams continue to be great because they have great systems. So that's why the All Blacks are constantly great, why the Melbourne Storm in the NRL are one of the best teams year on year, because they have great systems for recruitment, training, they hold high standards, and that's exactly what you need to do in your business to have it perform as a high-performing sports team, not a family. So a common challenge, a lot of building company owners think, I can do it all myself, or clients only want to deal with me. So if this sounds familiar, the builder company owner who's working 7 days a week, can't take a vacation, everything falls apart when they're gone for more than 3 hours, and basically waiting for phone calls from site with, hey, this has gone wrong now. What actual cost is that having? Well, a team that's dependent on its owner for every decision has no scalability because the owner becomes the bottleneck. And the root cause is if you don't have any clear roles, you don't have step-by-step systems, then there's no accountability, and you're just hoping people figure it out. So today, I'm going to show you how to build a team that builds your business instead of it draining the life from you and your will to live. So you don't build your business, you build your team. Your team follow the systems and process for growth, accountability, and financial success that allow you to work on the business rather than in it all the time. So the winning team framework is we're going to start first with your values. So let's lead with your personal values first. They then become the foundation for the company's values of how the company is going to run. So the first thing is to have a team meeting with your key team members, and in that we're going to take 30 to 45 minutes and we're going to create the shared document for what are the important values for everyone that we actually want to run the company by. And then how we're going to implement this is we're going to put these values everywhere. We're going to put them on your website, put them on your walls. We're going to use them in the hiring process to ask questions of your prospective team members. Do they agree? Do they align with these values? And more importantly, how are they actually living them? Then we're going to put them into your contracts. And then every 90 days, when you do your team reviews, we're going to review them in line with those actual values. How well are they living them? And a big thing is if people aren't aligning with your values, then we need to decide, is it worthwhile having them on the team? Because these should be non-negotiables. And when you live your life in alignment with your values and you take action in alignment with your values, well, you feel at the top of your game. And same in your business. So think sports team, not family. So our 4 values that we use are, number 1, member results. So does this help the members win faster and get better results? What can we do to help you implement these strategies into your business? And that's why we've got one of the largest coaching companies on the planet for the construction sector with 68 people, is that we have 3 levels of coaches and 28 coaches in the coaching department to actually help you implement these strategies into your business. Next, health and wellness. So a massive priority of mine and our team is to be healthy, in shape, and living your best life with the most energy so that you don't get drained, you take time off, and you put health and wellness as a priority. Number 3, world-class. So are we following best practice? Are we implementing quickly? And are we helping people get world-class results? What does a world-class result look like? And what does a world-class business look like? And how does it perform every week? And lastly, speed of execution. So it's all about the implementation of the strategy that actually helps get the results. So step 2, we're going to create scorecards for every role. So a job description is what they actually do and how do they do it. The scorecard is going to contain that, and it's also going to have a few key other things. Number 1, KPIs, like how do you actually measure success? What is the one question that if I asked you, hey, Bob, are you winning? And Bob is the superintendent or the foreman, he'll be able to say, yes, I'm getting within 5% of our forecast labor hours broken down by stage, and the quality checklist passed on the first time. So KPIs, how do you actually measure success? So what is the one key number or metric? And everyone should have at least one key number, 2 to 3 at the most. Next, what are the actions that actually drive those? What are those non-negotiable 2 to 3 tasks that contribute to the success of that KPI that they need to do? And lastly, how are we going to review that every week, one-on-ones, using the scorecards in our quarterly formal reviews and in our weekly 20-minute sit-downs with our team. So that's how we're going to put these into play to make sure that their actions are aligning with their scorecard and they can't go too long without knowing are they off track or on track. So a scorecard helps give that clarity to both your team member and yourself so you both know, Bob, are you winning? So step 3, do you have the right meetings and do you have the right meeting rhythms? So there's 4 key meetings you need in your business. First, a management meeting. Where are we going as a company? How are we going to get there? And are we on track? Next, a construction meeting. So are our projects online? Is our project manager and our estimator on track? Are we within 5% of the labor hours? Then a marketing and sales meeting. So do we have enough work in the pipeline? What leads do we have coming up? What should we be focused on for our conversion to be able to increase our margins and increase our deal flow so we can cherry pick the right jobs? And lastly, toolbox meetings on site to make sure the guys are on track, they're capturing variations, and they know what's coming up and that they're on track with their labor hours. So in your toolbox meetings, we want to make sure that the toolbox meetings are weekly, they're held on site with an agenda, we go through safety, job status, are all the variations being captured, are we hitting the quality standards that we need, and then we're going to focus on, do we have 2-week sprints in place? So what's one area of business improvement that we're going to sprint on in the next 2 weeks? So is it controlling work in progress and knowing exactly where we are at every step? And lastly, the rules for these are that there needs to be a start time that's adhered to, a stop time, so whether it's 15 minutes for a toolbox meeting, an agenda every time with no exceptions so that nothing gets missed, everything important gets covered off. So hiring for career progression, step 4. And key question is, where do you want to be in 2 to 3 years? And so with apprentices, we're going to show the clear progression from apprentice to carpenter to foreman to project manager and then to potential business partner. So great retention strategy is to make sure that we have a big enough vision for your team members' vision of what they want to achieve within their life to be able to fit within inside your vision. And quite often people don't leave jobs, they leave team owners or business owners who don't have a big enough vision for them to achieve their goals. So make sure that you've got a big, compelling vision for your team to be able to achieve their life goals. And the good thing is that when you're hiring someone, they come on a payment plan. So you want to make sure that you've got at least 3 to 6 months salary saved before hiring anyone new, because they're going to buy back time, in which case you're going to be able to deploy those hours that you save, if it's 10 hours a week, onto higher dollar tasks that are going to help to offset their monthly salary. All right, this I think is one of my favorite takeaways, one of the greatest gifts that I've been given over the last 20 years in business, and it's called the PSR Problem-Solving Framework. And if you take nothing else away from today, take this one thing, apply it into your business, and watch your life change overnight and watch your team rise to the next level. And you can also apply it with your family and with your children. So the first key thing is it stands for PSR, problem, solutions, and then recommendation. So we're teaching your team to bring solutions, not just chuck hand grenades or dump problems in your lap. And the person who cares the most, you as the owner, is the person who's going to have this problem weighing over them and weighing down, and it feels like the business is all on your shoulders. So the first key thing when someone comes to you with a problem is to ask them to define it clearly. So the concrete truck is not showing up on time this afternoon, it can't make it. Okay, solutions. I want you to give me 3 options that you've researched. Okay, so number 1, they could just come tomorrow. Number 2, we could call them and we could call another concrete truck company and ask them to deliver. Or number 3, we could call the owner of the company, say, hey, we've given you a lot of work over the last 6 months. Can one of your other drivers come and deliver it this afternoon? Because otherwise we've got all these guys on site. I'm going to have to send them home until tomorrow. My recommendation is we go with option C. We call the company owner, Tony, and he should be able to do us a favor. So we want them to pick the best option and explain why it is the best option. So what this does is it helps your team become self-sufficient, gives the owner back your time, back your headspace, and ensures that you're raising leaders in the company. You're giving them a framework with which to solve problems. You're helping them conceptually understand the business and to think like an owner so that the weight isn't on all your shoulders, and they're going to be preemptive in bringing problems with a solution, with a recommendation to you so that you can help them rise up as leaders. A common adage we hear all the time is good people are too expensive. Well, the reality is bad people cost more in mistakes, rework, and your time and headspace fixing their problems and cock-ups. And a great saying is, if you think it's expensive hiring a professional, wait until you hire an amateur, because they're going to cost you a lot more. So the solution is raise your margins first, then invest into quality people so that you can get that time and headspace back and afford them. So one good foreman can save you at least 20 plus hours a week in management time, and that return on investment of what you're going to be able to do with that time is off the charts. So get clear on your foreman or your super's vision. Where do they want to be? What does success look like to them? So if they want to go out and have their own business, what do they need to learn? Well, they need to learn pricing, project management, scheduling, ordering, and client meetings, capturing variations. You're like, okay, cool. So now we've got a list of 15 tasks to get off your plate, and train your foreman in those tasks, just 1 a week. And over the next 4 months, just watch their confidence, their ownership, their pride increase. And if they know that in 2 to 3 years, they can potentially go out into business on their own, they're going to have all the skills, you could partner with them in their company and license your IP to their company whilst increasing the overall profitability of your core business, increasing the asset value of your core business, and having a team member that's going to work with you side by side with an owner and a founder's mentality, and that is priceless. I can't find anyone reliable. The amount of times that we've heard this. The truth is you're fishing in the wrong pond, or you're not selling your vision of your business properly or what it's like to work here. So workaround is create a compelling career path. Where can they go? Show the system, support, and training that they're going to get, and that they're going to get great pay in return for being a great team member. So focus on attracting the type of team members that you want to have and be a company that people want to work for rather than at. So a great company that does this is Richard Fiske Dimension Building in Timaru. They do a fantastic job of a management team plan for their management team, and then also clear career growth paths and property ownership for the team and what they can expect as they grow with the business. And then they have this all on social media, great training, and it becomes a really compelling and attractive place. If you're a builder or a carpenter in Timaru or Twizel, you would consider going to work for them. All right, so how do you implement this into your business? Well, immediate action plan. If you fired everyone in your business, who would you rehire? So go through, rate your team members. You can rate them A, B, C, D, or you can rate them 1 to 10 and figure out, okay, why are you keeping these people on the bus who are not good performers? So this week, create your scorecard for one key role with just one KPI, so one key number, and what are the 3 key performing actions or repeatable actions that they need to do every week that are going to drive that one metric of success. Now, in your weekly one-on-one meetings, make sure that you've got an agenda focused on their scorecard performance and use the template to have that meeting with your key team member each week. So the expected result, this is going to help give you immediate clarity on who's performing well. It's going to give you at least a 50% reduction in putting out fires. And the next step I want you to do, schedule that team value session within the next 2 weeks and make sure that you use the PSR approach to putting out problems and empowering your team. All right, so to wrap up, your team is only as good as the systems and clarity that you provide them with. Scorecards and regular meetings create accountability without micromanaging. So there's a great saying, accountability through visibility of numbers and performance, and it becomes objective because they've got a clear scorecard and frame of reference for whether they're winning or not. And career progression helps keep great people. It clear values filter out the wrong people and get them off the bus. So if you want to transform from trying to do everything yourself, keeping it all on your shoulders, to actually having a team that operates as a business and follows the systems without your constant day-to-day involvement in the day-to-day operations, then implement these systems into your business and watch it transform. This is Chapter 3 from the Profitable Builders Playbook. Grab your free copy. All you need to do is cover the shipping. The link below in the show notes, and includes $3,000 worth of bonuses, plug-and-play resources, a masterclass for you, and one-on-one game plan to see what's possible for your business with the right help and the right systems plugged in. Build your winning team today.